Boogers out nose. Okay, we ready. We about to get started. And 5, 4 is loading. It says that we are live now on Facebook, everybody.
It is.
All righty. So let me, yes, I see it popped up on my phone. We are live now. So, all righty. So let me get ready to start start recording. We are live now. So, all righty. So let me. Oh, that's me talking.
Look, I was like,
hold on.
that sounds like, wait, I hear you 2 times. What's happening?
Right, 2 times. Let me record once right here. All righty. Okay, so good morning, everyone. Welcome to our brunch and munch with our Live leaders and self-care coaches. I am CiaraWimby, and I am the physical wellness coach, as well as being the founder and CEO of LIV You Nonprofit. And I have with me also 2 of the Live leaders. Please introduce yourself and what specialty of self-care coaching are you representing?
I'll go. Hey, it's Cicely Beckham. I am the mental wellness coach. I am driving, making my way back to Phoenix from LA. So don't mind me and my get up, but I'm here and I'm ready to party. I can't bring a mimosa on the ride, but don't worry. When I touch down, I got y'all. Okay.
So what are you drinking though? What do you have that you sipping on as you driving?
Funky water.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm drinking water. Well, I'm always drinking water. I don't have any like juice or anything today. So yeah, that's what I'm representing.
It's
today.
water. I'm sad about it. No, I drink water. I drink enough water every day, but I'm just mad that today I have to drink it on the road.
Got it.
All right, and I'm Stephany. I am the spiritual coach of Live You, and I'm finishing up my coffee, which I have not had coffee in quite some time, but I was up late doing hair, and I'm also drinking water today. So I'm here, I'm present, and accounted for.
Here, present and accounted for. Thank you. So, real quick, I just want to say, if you are on Facebook watching us live, so we're actually on Zoom and we're posting to Facebook. And when I was in my double space looking at it on my phone, I could see that Mia joined in. So I just want to say shout out to Mia. But if you are watching us on Facebook, say hello in the comments so that we know that you're there, because we won't know that you're there otherwise. We don't have that ability to see it, but we can see the comments. So a little bit of housekeeping before we get started. So wanted to make sure that oh, she loved the video. Okay, so any Zoom attendees that when you come on, make sure you mute until we involve any audience feedback. And I see that we do have one person here today. We have Miss Beverly Daly, which is my auntie. Shouts out, hey auntie.
Hey auntie.
And make sure that we are respectful to one another. Write down any thoughts, allow people to finish speaking. You have about 2 minutes for any of your responses. Since Cicely is driving today, Stephany, can you be our timekeeper?
Gotta be the bully today.
This is being recorded, so if you don't want to be seen on the camera, make sure you keep your cameras off. And also, before I say the last one that I always say, make sure we have fun. I want to make sure that you all know that next week is Thanksgiving week. And so next Saturday, we will not be on because it's the holiday weekend. And so we're going to be partaking in whatever holiday fun we're partaking in, because self-care is all the time with whatever you're doing. So we also have to involve our businesses need to make sure that they involve themselves in self-care as well. And also let us know what topics you all want us to address. I know that we come up with topics from things that we experience or hear from other people, but let us know what topics you all want us to address. And also just wanting you all to know that
Yes.
just wanting you all to know that we do um, free 15-minute consultations. So go to our website and find more information out about that, which is liveyou.org, livyu.org, and it's under our coaching page. And we also do self-care coaching, so you can find that there as well. So wanted to make sure we did our own personal shouts out and commercial. So
That part.
that part. So now we just want to
Check us
say
out.
have fun. And so
Yes.
today's topic, we're talking about identifying and addressing your fears. Identifying and addressing your fears. So Stephany has the pleasure of being the person that is reading our comments that we got throughout the week, because again, all throughout the week, we asked the question, we start that question off on Sunday or Monday, I can't remember, but we started off at the beginning of the week asking all through the week for people to give us feedback, and then we talk about the topic live once a week on our brunch and munch. So what you got for us, Stephany?
Okay, so let me go to, I'm sorry, I don't have my thing pulled up. See, look, you talking twice.
It wasn't me.
Okay, so.
Well,
So
while
going to
she waiting on
the
that,
group.
I just want to talk about the culture. Did y'all see Jeezy and Gucci on the verses? I'll hold it
No.
down for the culture until you're ready, Stephany.
Right, Stephanie, you stay focused. You can't jump in the conversation. So no, I did not. I did not see that.
I know you didn't see. You wasn't. Oh my, you probably was like, what? What is that, dude?
I mean, I know who they are, but they're not the people I want to watch. So yeah.
Listen, I relived my whole college years, and can I just say my knee hurt today because I
Oh,
was the
you
realest
were
nigga in it.
dancing.
You already knew. Got trap of the year, girl. I was trapping in my kitchen. Okay, I was a
So I
gangbanger
got
last night.
one.
Okay, that's it.
I got one comment, ladies. Sorry for Thankful Thursday. And Thankful Thursday, just that meme itself, it says Happy Thursday. Greet your problems and decisions with peace and calm. Use your inner wisdom to evaluate and make smart decisions for yourself. You got this. And that's with Tracy Edmonds. And that was posted in our Live You Nonprofit page and also in our Live You Women's group. And our one commenter, she says, no faith. I'm sorry, no fear, all faith, and a bunch of emojis.
No fear.
Um,
Okay, okay.
no fear, all faith. Now, the next comment, I know we were talking about it earlier, but I don't see that comment. So, what was the comment from earlier, right before we went on live?
I'll say it. So
Thank you.
someone replied to mine, and it was a guy. And I'm gonna get ready to go on the hills also. If I break up, my bad. Love y'all. But he said that his fear was living a life that is not authentically his. And my reply to that was, heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Mm,
If you live in a life that's not yours, it will always weigh heavy on you.
that's a true
So
statement.
yeah,
Yes.
and so yeah, we it gave us even more dialogue because after that, then my phone started ringing. So it was a good topic.
Yeah, that's part of, when we talk about self-care in a general manner, but there are a lot of components and elements to self-care. And part of taking care of yourself is being authentic. If you're not authentic with anybody else, I always tell people this. This is always one of my mottos. You can lie to me all day, knock yourself out. I don't care. But be honest with yourself. Be honest with you, because if you're not honest with yourself, that's the I guess the detriment to your existence, is is being inauthentic to oneself.
That
I
is
see that
true.
Auntie typed in on here. She says, I have no fears. I'm a 65-year-old woman. I've lived my life in fear in younger years, and now I have matured and learned to live one day at a time. What comes will comes. And she says, "Hey, audience." Okay, well, look at
Hey,
Miss
Auntie.
Miss I ain't scared on here. She said, I ain't scared. Okay, okay. So, ladies, so and
Listen,
this is how you can tell the
I will
holiday is
say,
coming, because it's not
um,
a lot of people today. So that's how you know the audience,
mhm,
it's the holidays. So go ahead, Cicely, what you got?
gearing up. It's a lot going on. You know, fourth quarter push, man. It's a lot. Fears. I think not living to my fullest is my fear. Like I don't want to miss nothing. I live my life for those remember when moments rather than those I wish I would have moments.
Oh,
So my fear is not living that for all my moments. I don't want to miss anything that's for me. And so that's probably one of my fears. Another fear I will say, I don't want to be a fat forever hoe.
fat forever.
Listen, I'm tired of being fat. So that's a bit like, yeah. So that fear of failing myself of not being consistent with myself. Stop laughing at me.
Look,
Just don't want to be that
don't
girl.
say
So
stuff
yeah,
that sound funny and we won't laugh. You know you said it funny.
look,
We laughing with you.
Why
damn.
does that sound like a store?
Okay.
Fat Forever store, like 21 for like that sounds like a store. Like you want to shop at it.
I should make it. Yeah. I got that. It was.
You breaking up. And she's in the mountains. She did let us know you were breaking up there.
Yeah, my bad. So look, come back when I'm not in the mountain.
Right. We'll come back around to it. So I see we have 3 people watching us. So say, oh, so we have Jessica. She's on here. She's laughing her butt off. Me too. So,
Well, I'm gonna go in. I'll go ahead and go in with my fear. Just to segue into it, I guess a fear for me is and I've discovered this during the week because that's a tough question to even answer as a woman, as a strong woman. A fear that I have is not shining my light to its full potential. And sometimes as women, we hold back because we know we can shine bright like a diamond, right? We know we can shine bright, but we have others that surround us, like friends or family, especially those that we've known for so long, that will feel a certain type of way if you reach your full potential or you shine bright, or maybe it stems from something in the childhood. Maybe there was something that happened as a kid, or something in your past. Like if you went on a talent show and you got booed off that talent show because nobody told you that your dance moves wasn't all that cute or wasn't all that good. Nobody told you, but you went on stage anyway and you got booed. That could be a fear of shining bright, but that's not the only thing that you have. Like there's so many other talents that you possess. And so for me, living out my full light, shining that full light, it can be fearful for me sometimes. Now that doesn't mean that I'm not going to show up, because if I show up to an event to show out, then that's what I'm gonna do. If I'm ever called, I come when called. But for the most part, I like to sit in the back in the shadows, and I'm cool there. But I'm learning to come out and to speak and to talk and to be around people. As I said before, I'm water, so I like to be in my shell. I like to be behind the scenes, but I'm coming out and learning how to shine my light. So that would be a fear of mine.
Okay. Cicely, you want to get back to you? Are you
Oh, hear me again?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Look, I started driving fast too, like hurry up and get out of here, speed racer. So Safety first, guys.
Safety
Fear,
first.
being pulled over by the police
Right.
while I'm driving in these mountains.
Well, and real quick, let's send out good positive energy so that Cicely makes it to her destination safely without harm. So let's just make sure that we are giving her that good energy.
Yes.
Thank you. Received. Yeah, no, like I said, my fears, that was basically it. Every day, I want to say it's unrealistic for me to say I don't have fears because they come like daily things that like I'm not aware of. When I'm presented with new opportunities, something different hit me.
Yes. Okay, so
So a different type of, and I wouldn't necessarily call it fear. So, I'm not breaking up again.
yeah, a little bit, but good, you back. So go, keep going.
Oh, okay, my bad. Yeah, so like I guess self-doubt is a fear that that comes up often because now in my life I'm starting to get put in different positions and being in rooms that I have never been in. And so what they call it, what we call it is imposter syndrome.
Okay,
But
you broke up.
I get placed in a lot of rooms where I'm the expert. And I'm like, wait, it's just me. Y'all. Oh,
You
man.
said is what kind of syndrome?
Sure
That was the part.
I'm almost out the mouth.
That's what.
Called,
okay, you breaking up. You
imposter syndrome.
Imposter
syndrome. Okay, imposter syndrome.
Mm-hmm. So it's when you're placed in positions that other people have put.
All right, we're gonna pause you. We're gonna pause you and come back to you.
And then you expect like, am I? Yeah.
We're gonna pause you because you coming in and out and it was breaking up. So while you were explaining it, you were breaking up real bad. All righty. So we're gonna come back to find out what the imposter syndrome is. We're not gonna let that one go. So Stephany, remind us to come back to that after I talk about my fears. So like Cicely said, I think that is impossible. And I'm gonna be that bold and say that it's impossible that people don't have any fears. We are not really built on this planet to be fearless. I mean, we are in a society where fears are placed upon us all the time to see how we're going to react and how we're going to maneuver. So when we say that we have no fears, you may not have everyday fears anymore, but like also Cicely brought up, new things come up in our lives all the time. And so when those new things come up, how do we address them? So for me, just relating back to when Stephany, you were talking about, shining your light. So as a child, I was always very scary, and I was afraid of being seen, and people always wanted me to put myself forward, and I didn't want to shine, and not because any negativity had taken place in my life that kept me from shining. I just was afraid to be seen. I mean, if you wanted me to be in anything, be around people, no, please, I don't want to. And I think that just has maybe something to do with being an only child, and my mother was very helicopter momish over me, and I was always in the house and isolated from the people a lot until I started being out in kindergarten and so forth. So that was fearful for me, and then I grew out of that mostly. I still have some fears, but like maybe when I'm about to start speaking in front of somebody, like a large crowd or something, I may have a fear inside, which is so funny because people are always telling me, oh, you sounded so confident. Oh, you didn't seem like you were afraid at all. And inside I'm like, yeah, I was doing my breathing exercises so that I could move forward and do it, but I have practice in it. And it's not because I'm not exuding fear, that doesn't mean that I don't have fear. And I still do it anyway. So I feel like it's not about if you have the fear or not, it's what you're going to do with it if you're going to move forward. So like, you know, when you say the guy stated, um, if he wasn't living authentically, we still have to make sure that it's not, fear isn't keeping us from something. So I'm from Chicago, shouts out Chicago, and I live now in Phoenix, Arizona, and I was afraid to move out here. And but the funny part is, it was a choice. So it wasn't like somebody said, "Oh, Ciara got a gun to your head, you know, you got to move or else." No, this was a choice. And the choice was, when I was moving, was to move somewhere I didn't even know anybody. Again, doing those things was scary to me, but I did it purposefully because I knew I was afraid. And I wanted to make sure that I was facing my fears, because I feel like too many times we are afraid and we let fear cripple us from living the life that we want to actually live, living to our full potential, living to our brightness, living to our light, because we're afraid of what somebody's going to think of us, somebody's going to say about us, somebody think we too much. Well, you know what? I am too much. I am over the top. I am everything, because this is what I choose and this is what I want to be. And sometimes that means, you know, you got to let people go and, you know, move forward in your life. And that's part of it too. And yeah, you know, you want to sometimes go back, you know, there's times when I'm like, man, I remember just, you know, playing double dutch on the playground. Man, sometimes that was such an easier life. But even in that moment when somebody was like, Ciara, you know, it's your turn to jump in, I wasn't the best double dutcher. I'm gonna just be honest. I wasn't the double dutch queen, but I still played double dutch. And I still jumped in the rope and I took my turn. Even though every turn with that, I was like, okay, how long I'm gonna be in here? I don't want to mess up my pop-ups and my mumbos and whatever it is, but you know, you keep making it through. So being fearful doesn't mean that you stop. It should be your fuel to move you forward.
Yes, I agree with you. So back to that imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome. Cicely.
Imposter syndrome. Cicely.
I hear y'all the people calling my name. Cicely. Okay, I am here.
Yes.
Have to unmute myself. So imposter syndrome is when you are placed in rooms when you are the expert, but you don't believe in yourself. Even though you have the skills, you have the degrees, you have everything, but you feel like you're not supposed to be there. And everybody looking at you like, but you're supposed to know. And you like,
Right.
oh wait, me. It's on me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's a thing. It's a thing in many places. And I'm being pushed into those levels now. I'm being pushed into those rooms where I am the expert. And I have been in school and know a lot of life and a lot of, you know, I do know a lot of stuff. And so now it's me stepping into that role with the confidence that I exude. So, because many people are always like, you so confident, you so, and I'm like, y'all don't even know the three people in my head going bananas right now. So, but I show up because the grit in my voice make it seem like I'm the toughest in the world, right? And it's true. So it's like I said, I don't have necessarily, oh my God, something is stopping me from showing up at those places, but don't think my stomach don't be hitting the Dougie on me, like in the midst of me standing in front of this 150 people answering questions that I'm like, I didn't even know I knew these answers, but damn, that sounds good, didn't it? It's gonna work for you. Like, right. But it's true, like my, you know, my intellect and my wisdom and my knowledge comes to play. It shows up. That version of me shows up when it's time to, but it don't stop me having to battle all 12, like I said, other anxieties that pop up with it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just how it goes.
So my auntie says you cannot tell that Cece has a fear of talking. LOL.
Shouts out
You know,
to all the speech classes I had to take to
You
get
know,
up in front of
right,
I only took one speech
right.
class ever in my life, and that's when I was in 8th grade. So my 8th grade year, I will say unfortunate and fortunate at the same time, because in Chicago, you know, you go to grammar school and it's generally from 1st grade to 8th grade. And so when I wound up going to St. Louis for my 8th grade year, that was a little devastating to me because I had been in my school since 1st through 7th grade. So 8th grade year was my year. I was about to be on top of the world. And I wound up going to St. Louis for a year. Another story for another day how I got there. But I used to go to St. Louis every summer. And actually, this particular auntie is who I would stay with, her and my uncle and my cousins. And so where they lived at, the school system, it was I can't remember the first, what it's first called, but 1st through 6th grade, whatever that dimension is called. And then they had junior high, which was 7th and 8th grade, and then you had high school. So me, again, as I've stated 500 million times, 500 million ways, I'm an only child, and I'm a loner, and being around new people is kind of like not my scene. And so I felt already secure. I had my cousins and I had my friends already from in the summertime. So I didn't need to go to school to meet people. I don't need to know you. I got friends when I get out of school, and I live with people. So I don't even want to know y'all. So I had to take a speech class. Now, speech class was generally a class that 7th graders took there, but because in order for me to get out of that junior high school, I had to take 7th grade speech class. So not only am I a new person, but now I'm a new person with 7th graders, as opposed to being all my classes being in 8th grade. And so it was a speech class. And of course, you know, you got to stand up all the time and speak in front of people. And so my last name is Wimby. So it's one of the last, I would be one of the last kids that would be called if we were going in alphabetical order. And so generally the whole time I'm sitting there with my heart about to jump out of my body, and I'm dying inside from everybody's name that has gone before me. And then finally it's me. And at this point, I mean, my energy is so zapped from being so fearful of going up that, you know, I'm like kind of like trembling, but I make it because, you know, I need to pass the class, whatever. So one day the teacher tells me, she says, you know, if you volunteer and go first, then you can get that out the way, and then you can be relaxed through the rest of the class. And so I said, what? New perspective. Okay. I'm like, oh, really now? She said, and not only that, but then there's nobody else for me to grade you against. So you'll get whatever the grade is. And so you'll set the precedent of the speech. So if somebody went before you and did excellent, I'm grading you against you and them, as opposed to only you. So I sat there, you know, I went home because see, logic makes sense to me. And so the next day, because we have to do like a speech every week. So the next time it was speech time, I was volunteering. Hey, I need to go first. I need to get up there. And it wasn't that the fear went away, but I did enjoy relaxing for the remainder of the class period, as opposed to being fearful the entire class period and still having to get up. So what you let Wimby go first to talk.
You know what?
A speech is only so long, Auntie. It can be 5 minutes and you're done.
That's the thing about fear. Um, as far as ladies that don't have a fear, it does. If you have a fear, it doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you less than. It's okay. We all have something that we're fearful of. It's all in how you manage it. It's not that it just makes you different, because I know, we're strong women, but it's okay to be, vulnerable from time to time. And especially being vulnerable with yourself. Be real with you. If you have a fear, it's okay to recognize that fear, voice that fear, talk to that fear, because you figure out what it is that you're good at and what you can do to overcome that fear. It's okay. It's very normal to have a fear. Just manage it. Figure out how you can manage it and how you can get better at it.
I feel like you should have a fear buddy.
Ooh.
Just like when you get on your roller coaster ride and you like, I know you scared. I ain't scared, girl, because I'm get on. You need a fear buddy to talk you through this and let you know, like, bruh, what for what? For why? Right? Like, why are you scared? What? Right? Challenge so we can bounce ideas off each other, because and when you have great friends and support system, and it's the only one, you don't need a million, because I know a lot of people at our age and they're like, I only got 2 friends because no new friend,
My A1 day one.
I'm not talking about that generation. Yeah. Talking about the one who you can really be transparent with and process these things through. And that can give good feedback and insight, because at the end of the day, we can give maybe a great insight on it, but I can tell you, you don't have to be fearful all the time. Yeah, true. Girl, don't be scared. Don't be scared. You scared, get in my pocket, right? I can tell you all these things, but what I got going on in my life don't apply to your life. So how I might approach it may not be the same thing for you, because we on 2 different journeys with 2 different purposes in life. So, but let's bounce the ideas off to address what the fears are and why are they realistic fears? Are they fears because somebody else projected their fears on you, and that's another layer of crap that you didn't put on yourself that you didn't even know you were aware of? Or is it a genuine fear of, I don't think I can do this because whatever, X, Y, and Z? But to process it through, to address, is it really a fear, or is it just you being scared? Because being scared and the fear are 2 different things. Because being scared to make me turn around and slap the shit out of somebody, excuse my French. Like, you get somebody scared, jump out and scare you, you flinch. Like, hey, you want to
fight a fight. You ready to fight. You ready to fight.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's scared. But an actual fear is something that will ground you and make you stagnant and not push forward. So let's process this thing and see what it is that's keeping us there. And if it is something that we can overcome, or is it something, like you said, past traumas that make us think of these ways, and then, hey, maybe we need to go talk to a therapist. Let's normalize not being strong all the time. Stop symptom suppressing, because it's coming out in some other way. And then you look up 5 years from now like, man, I could have been five years ahead of myself at this point, because I was too scared to do it. And now you feel like you're playing catch up on everything. So now you're tired all the time because you playing catch up from what you should have did 5 years ago.
Exactly.
Auntie took off her mute. She said, that was her.
She also typed in, exactly, it is how you manage it, because it really is. It's how you manage it. I mean, again, just because you have a fear does not make you vulnerable. And just because you fear something doesn't mean you're fearful in every area.
Everything, right.
That's not,
and it's okay to be afraid of whatever that one thing is. You don't have to face that fear. Like, okay, so Stephany and I, we talk about TV shows to watch sometimes. So so there's this TV show Supernatural, because we both like all these like supernatural type TV shows or whatever. So we'll
and of course I'm a spiritual coach, right? So
we'll tell each other, girl, watch this, watch that, whatever. And so
watch it, and then it be in my house and I'll be calling y'all like, I hate y'all. Nope, I'm not watching it. Y'all got it.
So look, hold on, Cicely. So she was like, watch Supernatural. And I'm like, girl, okay. I'm like, let me watch it, girl. Because she like, girl, they talking about fairies and whatever supernatural things that they tell you about, unicorns, this, that, and the other. She was like, it's in it, like all of it. It's 15 seasons, everything that anything that's a myth of supernatural is in it. And I'm like, girl, let me watch it, girl. 3 episodes in, I was like, girl, I can't watch
Season 1.
This.
Season 1, 3 episodes in.
She was like, what's wrong? I said, girl, this stuff's scaring me. I can't watch it.
Meanwhile,
My light bill done went out
I
because all my
completed all
lights on all
seasons.
the time.
Meanwhile, I've completed all the seasons. I'm waiting on season 16 so we can finish this on out. I done got mad. I done got attached. I done got detached. Yeah. So again, that's a great example right there.
Everybody, and it's okay. Yeah, because I've paused it and I'm like, I'm gonna get back to it, Stephany. And then I was just like, I just gotta be honest with myself. This scares me, and I don't want to watch this.
Right.
Oh,
right.
Got my holy oil out. Nope, I'm not playing with y'all.
My holy oil.
I'm like, my anxiety level is on 1,000,000. I need to sleep. I need to turn these lights out. Even with the lights on, I'm like, what's that?
What's that? You hear everything?
Right. Meanwhile, I'm sitting up here like, ooh, I can't wait to the next one. Ooh, let me go to the next one. And I'm not watching this, taking my time watching it. I'm watching it episode after episode after episode after episode. And it can even go into the
night. Oh man.
So I'm there and I'm just watching it like, wow, this is so like, but that for me, that's not a fear for me.
Right. And that's the thing. Somebody else may not have a fear, but then somebody else may have the fear. And it's okay to have your fear, and it's okay not to have your fear. Auntie says, don't let that vampire in your house. Now that's the funny part is vampires, that don't move me. I that's why I don't invite people in on a regular basis, because I don't know what the status is in life. So I have to be real comfortable with your spirit before I let you up in my house.
Mm-hmm. Because there are energy vampires. People themselves are walking around as energy vampires because they just want your energy. Mm-hmm. And that's a fear too. That's a fear to have energy vampires or vampire energy. They come around you just because they want what you have. They want that energy, because whatever it is that you're doing in your life, in your space, is moving you forward. They may not be able to do that. But when they're around you, they feel as though they can, but you're getting depleted at the same time. Mm-hmm. So just because you have one fear in one area does not mean it's going to cover for every other area in your life. You may be, fearful of flying or heights, but you're not fearful of being grounded and walking and standing in your truth. Those are two different things.
Go ahead and tell them that's Stephany, girl. That's what Auntie said. Girl, tell them, girl.
Get it.
Yes.
Yes.
So how do we cope with that? How do we cope with some fears? What are some coaching tips that we can give to people? Oh, Cicely, you breaking up. Breaking up, girl. You breaking up. Nope, you broke up. You broke up. So Stephany, what is and I know you mentioned it, but just mention it again, some coaching tips spiritually for people to be able to get through some fears.
Yes. So a spiritual coaching tip that I can give you all for facing your fears is talking to them, actually verbalizing what the fear is. And I'm not saying say it in your head, say it out loud, because it's different when you hear it out loud versus when you hear it in your head, because we all have those different personalities, or we all have those different people that got some input in on what it is that's in your head. But if you come out and say, you know what, I'm fearful of flying, or I'm fearful of shining my light. Why are you fearful of shining your light? If you go to figuring out what it is, then you already know that you have a certain skill set or abilities, because you've been through so many different things in your life. And it doesn't have to be something hard. It could be something easy, but you showed up for it. You were there, you showed up, you were present, and you were able to get through whatever it is that you had to get through. So if you talk to it, you figure out that you already have this skill, and then you also realize that you can build the confidence that you need to get through whatever that fear is. Fear is usually something, from my perspective, is in the shadows, it's in the dark. But once you bring it to the light, it's no longer a fear. Now it's something that can be solved. Let's put a solution behind it or with it, and let's get through it to the next one. because it's levels to this thing. That's what Meek Mill said. It's levels to this
That's
shit.
right. That's right. So while Cicely's coming in and coming out, so for physical wellness, what I'll say as a coaching tip is stop. I want to say stop, drop, and roll because that's one of my favorite things just to say, but that's for fires. But stop and breathe. Like really calm yourself and deep breathe, not just shallow breathing, but really diaphragm breathing, breathing all the way down into your belly, and just sit there and just understand that, whatever the fear is, it's probably not even something that's happening in your present moment. It's something that you're anticipating. So if I'm talking about speaking in front of a large crowd, it's the anticipation, because once I get started, yes, auntie, right, you can't believe that, I can talk. Once I get started, I'm in there. But it's the anticipation of it, or when I'm talking about being afraid of watching Supernatural. Now, I know my reasons for why I'm afraid of it, because some of that stuff, it was just showing that how stuff is coming in through the water, coming in through the air. I'm like, I drink water and I got to deal with air every day. That's real life stuff. I can't deal with that, because there's energy and everything. So I'm not trying to have my mindset in that space. I'm like, no, I'm not in the mood for it. But when I sit down and breathe, I'm just like, okay, it's a TV show. It's not really happening in my real life space. But because I know in my mind the endless possibilities of everything is possible, then I'm like, I'm not trying to let that type of energy in my space with me, with my mindset. So I cut that out. Like, let me not give any energy to that space. So let me remove myself from that pathway. So just deep breathe and calm down, and move forward, regardless if the moving forward is in the direction of fear or turning around and walking away from what is fearful. Cicely, you back. What you got?
Yay. Piggybacking off of that, the deep breathing helps mentally to stay grounded and stay in the present. Because a lot of times fear comes from futuristic thinking because we don't know what it is. So our brain, like you said, goes everywhere. And so ground yourself and to remind yourself that you are okay, you are in a safe space. These fears that you've already thought about haven't happened. And because our brain takes us all over the place.
Everywhere.
And so some of the fears be so unrealistic. Like we play scenarios in our head like we done turned into the real life superheroes or something. Like, let me grab my cape, like, yeah, I'm a ninja kicking. Like, really, bro? Really? Whenever in life did that happen? Like, has it happened? But to be honest with yourself, your brain take you there. Like, you be prepared for all out, fall out war. And you're like, bro, but I've never even had to go to war before. Like, what is this? So to stay grounded in the present moment mentally, to remind yourself where you are, because so many times we're so busy thinking futuristic that we miss the gift of the present moment.
Yeah.
And so now it's the fear of I missed something. So if you just remind yourself to be present, enjoy yourself in that moment, it'll help with futuristic fears.
Yes. Thank you. All right. Well, let's see. It is actually 11:43, and I think because we don't have as many people on as we normally have on today, we can actually wrap up earlier. If anybody else have any closing words to say to the audience, to support them in their self-care journey.
Honestly,
I will say, oh, go ahead.
honestly,
Go, sorry.
no, it's all good. Just for our ladies and even for our gentlemen that's watching, that's doing, them an everyday movement, be real with yourself and voice your fears. You're not alone. You're not the only one that goes through things. And it doesn't have to always be something heavy. It's not always, I went through something so heavy and dramatic nobody can understand. It could be for those people who go through life things, because when you go through life things, that takes a toll on you too. But don't be afraid to voice your light, shine your light. And I'm taking this for myself as well, because I'm learning how to shine my light and how to step outside of my comfort zone, because that's really where growth happens. It doesn't happen in the comfort zone. It happens outside the comfort zone, because you're building your confidence, you're building your self-esteem, and you're building who you are into a better version of yourself. So I would leave you all with that. Continue to grow, develop, and voice those fears, because you're going to get through them, and somebody else is going to ask you, well, how did you get through this phase in your life? And you get to tell that person, this is how I did it. And you get to also show that person, this is how I did it. And that's okay too.
Thank you. I
Good
like that.
stuff. I think one of those things when we talk about shining our lights and things is the fear of judgment. You fear what somebody is going to think about your light being bright. Let that go. Everything is not for everybody. That's something I think growing up is what we have to know, is that people are going to judge you. Like we're trained to do it. From the moment I see you, I'm trained to, even if I'm not judging in a judgy tone, I'm already trained to assess, oh, look at her hair, look at her shoes, look at her teeth, I'm already looking,
Right.
no matter who I'm looking at. And so we're being judged from the moment we come into somebody's perspective. And so letting go of trying to control what somebody else thinks, because you don't have the control of it. And so that's a major thing with just letting go. But I just was piggybacking off that, but what I was gonna say, y'all, was understanding that holiday seasonal depression is real. Be aware of yourself, be aware of what makes you tick, what brings you down, what lifts you up in this season. I know for me, when it get dark fast, I'm like, it's 4 o'clock and I'm sleepy, because the moment the sunlight gone, it's time for me to go to bed. Bedtime.
That's me.
You know, it's dark. So why y'all talking to me? And my mom was like, well, it's only 5 o'clock. Well, it's only my bedtime. So realizing that's my thing. That's my tick. You know, right? So understanding that in the season, stick to what makes you upbeat, what makes you happy, because it's so easy to slip and fall into that darkness or just stagnant of just being okay because it's dark outside, those things. So just in this holiday season, just surround yourself with things that uplift you, people that uplift you, even if you are, it's still a pandemic, so be real, but participate in these type of connections with the Zoom, FaceTime your people, listen to your favorite music, sing loud, off key, who cares? Do things to bring joy to you, because this is a real season of pull on who you are and to keep you upbeat. So just take heed to that. Just understand that, being aware of yourself and what make you tick in this season, and stay up.
I love that. I love that. Thank you. It makes me think about that saying, dance as if no one is watching. And so for me, what I always think about for my life is, and I haven't always had this thought process, but 8 years ago, my father passed away, and he was my second parent to pass away. And when my mom passed away, I committed to myself of being happy. And then when my dad passed away, I committed to being fearless. And so that was also part of me moving somewhere where I didn't know anybody and start all over again. Because I really wanted to see if I could duplicate or replicate being able to have, well, I won't say duplicate or replicate, but having a support system as I had back in Chicago, and see if it was just there because I was born into it, or could I create that for myself? And so thinking about, what Cicely was talking about in terms of the holidays, because yeah, we won't see you all for a couple of weeks, because once again, we won't be on next Saturday on the 28th next Saturday. is it the 28th, 29th? Well, whatever next Saturday is, we won't be on. We'll be on December the 5th will be our next one. But just thinking about some of the people who may be alone during the holiday season because either they don't have family and friends or because they can't travel and go somewhere. You know, really, it's not about a time of you lack or don't have. Think about what you do have and in the moment that you exist, that you know maybe you is you don't have COVID, you know you still have good health, you have yourself, and yourself can create something, some type of opportunity for yourself. So we can't, you know, just be upset because we don't have someone to celebrate. If you have yourself, you have somebody that you can celebrate with. You can still have you a celebration of life, of the fact that you're here, that you have another day that you can make a difference for yourself, and then if you have overflow, make a difference for somebody else. So, and you know, just we just have to find a way to be thankful for what we do have, because we spend so much time uh reflecting on what we don't have. And so let's see, Auntie said, thank you, Cicely. I needed that because I am really missing my family this Thanksgiving season. So yes, I normally would have gone out of town to go see my aunties and my uncles, but y'all don't worry about me. I got some place to go. We will do the Zoom Thanksgiving, but it's not like hugging and kissing and laughing with my family as we usually do. So okay.
I mean, I am on my way home.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm on my way home. Don't act like I ain't family. What are you saying?
And Cicely, well, so this is what Auntie was saying. She was saying that because normally I go out of time, but yes, let me restate, because one of the things I definitely want to clearly state is that my friends are my family. Like, I'm not one of those people that's like blood is thicker than water, because I have had some amazing friends in my life, and so I consider them just as blood like as my family. So if I ride with you, I ride with you. And if I don't, you know that too. So it's not it's
never in between.
It's not an in between with me. It is, or it's not. I do not fake the funk with it in between.
Right. Right. Period.
So yes, and just and if you all follow me on my personal Facebook page, then you all are actually going to see me and my aunts. We do a skit every year at Thanksgiving time that we like to do something silly and post, just because we really are trying to make somebody else's holiday, just make them laugh, just because, just in case. And we can't do it in person, but we will be joining together like this on Zoom. We have 2 skits that we have planned out. So Thursday we will be doing our one that we always do, which is our We Are Family little song, and then we have a new song that we have started. She says,
don't tell it all.
But you know, if you want to, you know, go over to CiaraWimby page and or so see what we'll do. So if you need a bright pick me up and a laugh, you can go and find and see that, and that can make your holiday.
I want to touch back on what you said in terms of celebrating yourself. For those that don't understand what that is, or maybe do, or just want to expand on that, if you don't pat yourself on the back, then how do you expect for others to pat you on the back? How you treat yourself is extremely important, because others will treat you that way as well. So it's very important to celebrate yourself, to love yourself, to give yourself those kudos, to celebrate you. I can't express that enough. And it may take some time for us to learn that, and that's okay too. But once you learn it, you're going to love it, because you're going to continue to do that for yourself, and then there's going to be other people that's going to jump up and do it for you. I can remember a time where I graduated, when I first graduated college with my associate degrees, which is a few of them is behind me, so I got more than a few back there. But when I graduated with my associate degrees, my brother came, and he came from out of town, and I didn't even expect that. I was just so surprised, and I told everyone, or at least the ones that I did talk to at that time, that I'm graduating on this day and I'm happy. And I was just worried about myself and celebrating. But my brother showed up, and took pictures, and he was so happy, gave me gifts. I had other people that showed up that wasn't even family or friends. I was just associates, and we dealt with one another in a different capacity, but we were still cordial, and we just liked each other as a person. So when you celebrate you, people show up for you. So show up for yourself. Pat yourself on the
Shine
back.
your
I
light.
mean,
Shine your light.
exactly. And your light. And so as I continue to say that, I'm gonna continuously get reminded, of course, with Miss CiaraWimby and Cicely. They're gonna continue to remind me.
We coach
And
each other, so we don't just
right,
coach others,
we
we coach
do.
each other.
I'm not an expert. I'm just an expert in me and my confidence, and I just try to help everybody move forward with whatever it is that they're doing in their life as well. So if I can help others, then I will continue to show up and do that. But of course, you got to help yourself as well. Auntie said it is not selfish to celebrate yourself. It's not. It's not selfish to put yourself first. It's really not. It's okay to do so. And if you feel any different in your surrounding area or the people around you, you got to move, because that's not for you. You're growing. It's
Yeah,
not for you.
yeah.
So we got
Well,
about 5 minutes remaining.
we we
Um,
we lost Cicely along the way, so she's
mhm.
driving. So let's just continue to put out that good energy so that she gets to her destination safely and unharmed and in one space. Again, just want to make sure that we will be closed. Our online presence will be closed.
Yes.
And then asking again, what topics do you want us to address? So let us know in the comments any topics you want us to touch on, maybe to provide some coaching tips for you. And then we also do the free 15-minute consultation. So go to our website, maybe it's on the other side, liveyou.org. Right. So it's like, which way is it? YOU.org. And Auntie says she enjoyed it. Thank you, Auntie. We enjoy you being here. We enjoy you being here.
Yes.
And let's see what else. That's it. That's all we got. That's all we got, folks.
We do have a YouTube page, so I want to put that out there. We do have there's a Live You YouTube page. So if you didn't catch the Zoom live here, or you don't have a Facebook, everybody has YouTube. You can go to YouTube, type in Live You. We have our page there. Subscribe, please, and thank you. And watch the video. Get something out of it. I know on our Live You nonprofit page, we also have men there as well. Men, if you want to comment on the question of the week, that would be great to hear from your perspective as well. So go ahead and comment on that Facebook page. Subscribe, ladies. Add your family and friends to the Live You Women's group as well on Facebook, and comment. Let's conversate. Let's get these topics going. And just Ciara said, if you guys want to discuss anything, or you have something that you want us to discuss, any ideas, put them in the comments. We also have our DMs open. So sometimes if you don't want to comment on the page and you want to access in the DMs, go ahead. Sometimes that's comfortable for others as well.
And we have Instagram. So we have Instagram,
Instagram,
YouTube, Facebook, and we're
YouTube.
also on LinkedIn. So we're
Yep.
on several different social media platforms where you can see our content. And so, have a really great holiday season with yourself or with your family, whichever way it works best for you. Enjoy it. And we're also going to send out some tips for getting through the holiday season, as well as the tips that we shared today for getting through your fear. So again, see you all in a couple of weeks, and live you.
Bye.
Bye.